in general? How would you characterize
Oh gosh, my relationship with my dreams are essential to my well-being, and have been a really important part of my whole life. You know, I've been dreaming, well, forever. We all have, but
Do you remember them from childhood?
I do. Mostly from childhood, I remember nightmares, but I do, and I write them down. I've kept journals for 30 plus years and on dreams. And I think for me, the reason I started really paying attention to dreams is that when I was a kid, I had a dream that came true. Or I had a dream,
It was
precognitive, and then I think it was about 10 or 11, and I saw it play out in front of myself, and I thought, wow, there's more to the world than I really thought. And so that made me start paying attention to my dreams. The art process, I mean, I feel that what I'm reaching for is also reaching for me, and there's a relationship there and a communication that happens in that realm. So when that image comes up, it's not necessarily mine. It is it's hard to describe, but it has a life of its own and a story of its own. When a lot of times my work have stories with it, and that comes from putting the piece on the wall and dialoguing with it. So my process for that is to put it on the wall and dialogue to get the essence of what the story is or what the piece is about, and it's a practice for me to almost step aside and let the artwork tell me what it's about. Because I really find that it's not really about me, that I'm just a way for this information to come out. And so when that happens, when the story is told, then that art has a life of its own. It goes out into the world and finds its place with people, and sometimes in the form of cards, it goes out and it gets to reach lots of people. So this story it's called Raven Dream. It is Crow returned home dreaming a raven dream, a big dream full of promise and gifts, full of hope and renewal, light and warmth. It was a power dream of strength and courage, a way of seeing multi-dimensionally while standing firmly grounded in personal power, a way to survive in troubled times. Crow is pretty smart and knows that when you take a raven dream seriously, the raven dream will take you seriously. So, Crow took the raven dream to heart. She danced the dream, sang the dream, painted the dream, acted out the dream, and she gave the dream away. The dream gift multiplied in the telling and sharing and became part of other people's lives and stories, no longer a dream, but a reality. Crow continues to have raven dreams, and she continues to pay attention to them, and they continue to pay attention to her. So this one had a lot to say. Some of them don't, but this one did.
Could you speak to the dream that you had? Aside from the story that came through? Just
the dream that I had with this image, I was just about to have a group of teenagers in my studio space. and teach. And I was going through a hard time with my own teenager, and I did not know what I was going to do with these kids in here. And in some ways, I feared teenagers. But anyway, so I had this dream, and I had this dream image. And I came straight into the studio, which I don't do that often. I mean, in this way, things usually percolate a little bit. But in this case, I came right in and just did it. You know, almost straight from dream time to studio time. Mm-hmm. And this was the image that came through. And there's something about this, when animals come in my dreams or in my work, then I go to reference and read up on the different traditions and meanings of this animal throughout the world. And animal medicine cards are book of symbols and animals and yeah, just all kinds of references. And so what I realized with this was that Crow has the ability to stand grounded and see this way and see this way. So there was something empowering to me about that ability to be able to see dimensionally, and that even though I was having trouble dealing with my own teenager, I could still be grounded and
teenagers
and do what I needed to do. I'm part of a dream group that has been going for about almost 20 years, and I know that I have been in it 16, 17 years. Same people. We've had a couple of changes in that time, but mostly the core is still there.
So how do you work the group? How does it function? How does it live?
We meet once a week. Not everybody can make it all the time. There are 6 of us, and women, all women. And it has been a very important circle. We kind of have an agreement that, and we're all very equal. There's no leader in the group. We're all, self-contained, and we have an agreement that if we tell a dream, then we follow through with that dream. That, we have choice. If we know we've got a gnarly dream and we don't really want to deal with it, we don't tell that dream. But if we really trust, and we do in this group, that if we lay a dream on the table, then we all have a responsibility to really follow that dream through to as close to completion as we can get, or we're committed to being present and being supportive, and also being clear, like to not shy away from the hard spots, to go there. Otherwise, what's the point? Well, my business is called Drawing on the Dream, and when I first started having animal dreams, I wanted to find out more about these animals and these dreams. So there was something about drawing and painting them that helped me understand them better. There was something about pulling it out of dream time and bringing it into physical form, at least in this kind of form, that helped me understand the dream further and deeper. So that's where the dream work and the artwork started.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, I think what you're saying, tell me if this is right, is that by drawing or painting an animal that you have dreamed, then you find, by reflecting with the art, you're finding meaning as to why this animal, spirit, or being, or whatever, what would you call it?
Yeah, that's,
okay.
Yeah.
So you're finding meaning.
I would get more information in the act of drawing it.
And then the dialogue.
And the dialogue and the writing, yeah. Because I don't think that things show up in our dreams randomly, that there's information there. And the other part of drawing it into this physical form is the act of honoring the dream time.
Mm.
By speaking the dream in a dream group, by drawing or painting it, there's an act of honoring that information that, for whatever reason, is very, very important for that communication and that relationship to continue. Because if I didn't write it down, if I didn't speak it, if I didn't draw it, then there's all that wonderful information that just goes far, far away. And will come up again another time, or maybe the next night, I don't know, but there's something about why do we dream? I don't know why we dream, but we get information from dreams that we can't get otherwise because our lives are so busy, whatever, monkey mind. So when we're in dream time, that information gets condensed down and comes in the form of a crow or a polar bear or whatever. And why?
And then
why
you
does it come that way?
embrace the dream
Yeah.
as you embrace the mystery
Yeah.
by working with it creatively.
The writing kind of came from trying to get the title, but then the titles started getting longer and longer, and then they started becoming these little stories. But sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's just the title.
And the drawing of the dream, how long has your business been called Drawing on the Dream?
It's been called that for probably 20 years. Before that, my business was called Polar Arts because I had this very powerful dream about these two polar bears. And so it was called that for a while.
Do you ever paint or draw in your dream? Or?
Yes, I do, and I get ideas from and I look at art a lot in my dreams, and I always feel like that it's I don't know how to describe it.
Are you trying it out? Are you testing it? Or?
I don't know. I'm drawing. I'm doing printmaking in my dreams sometimes, and teaching and drawing, and I'm looking at art and looking at other people's art. And I feel like when I see other people's art in my dream, that it's free game. That I get to use those ideas. My dream life and my art life are so intertwined now that when when I would dream about animals, they would start showing up in my work. And now it's when I'm working and different animals will show up in my work, and then I know I'm going to start dreaming about them. So it kind of does this back and forth kind of thing.
What about with your dream group? Does your talking, they know you well, they know what you do with art and with dreams. Does talking with you, their talking with you, have an impact on their creativity that you've noticed?
I'm sure it does, but I couldn't say anything specific about that because we all just trust our dreams so much. We do talk about if something comes up in somebody's dream that they need to draw it, dance it, talk about it, or bring it out in a way because there's a reason that it showed up. So we do encourage each
forms of artistic dream work.
Yeah, if you have a dream about all-star red tennis shoes, you need to go out and buy some red tennis shoes because it keeps showing up in your dreams or whatever.
Or draw them or paint them.
Draw them or paint them and see what is it. I think we get a lot of ideas from dreams, and when we're stuck, ask your dreams for help.